log out when you're done.
We can
Shut it down.
There will be something at the top that says stop live stream. Click that button.
Okay.
Are we ready?
That is
Yes, we are.
All right, let's call this meeting to order then. It's where's my clock here? 5:34. We did pretty good. So first order of business, if anybody has a problem, speak up. First order of business, approval of minutes from the November meeting and the January 11th meeting. And Alicia mailed out or emailed out the November 9 minutes Friday, I think it was. And I'll accept a motion to accept those minutes whenever anybody wants to.
Lee, I move we accept the November minutes. This is Wayne.
Yeah, see that, Wayne. Thank
I'll
you.
second it, Lee.
All right, great. Minutes are approved then. All right. Now, I may not have the exact same format in the agenda that you do because I send it to Alicia and it gets a little reformatted sometimes. But anyway, moving to item number 3, the FBO report for January. And again, I did not get a copy of the flight training and stats and numbers. Is Mark on?
I'm on. This is Mark. So it's my fault that those numbers did not get out to you guys. This month was kind of a standard month with numbers is concerned. We're around the 700 plus mark on the aircraft. I actually had visitors today from State Aeronautics. Executive Director James Stevens came by today, and Program Manager Gary Siegfried came by today. They wanted to do a couple of things looking at the airport. They were very impressed with the airport and very excited about where things are going. But we discussed this. Why I'm talking about that, we discussed this number. And I will tell you, I've got some concerns that the number is actually a little lower than normal. We're getting a lot of activity, a lot of airplanes through, including jet traffic. So I'm very excited about that, but I hope that those numbers are going to increase here once the new FBO and we're able to co-locate and I'm able to count aircraft at night. With the new security system, I'll be able to do that. I believe we're going to get quite an increase in the numbers. Flight school numbers, we have purchased another aircraft. So now we have 3 training aircraft. Got a low wing Piper Warrior. We've got the 172 and we've got the Aztec for multi-engine training. Fuel cells, I do not have that. I apologize. I'll get that in the next day or so. Hangar rentals, no change there. We're looking at 4. Have a meeting with Private Hangar Construction this Thursday to discuss location. We worked with the city last week to look at the long-term plan. I've got that off of the State Aeronautics website and trying to look at the future. Of course, this proposed lease will help support that, but we'll be looking at meetings on Thursday to determine a couple of things, and that would be the construction of a new hangar that would support mine and Lex's operations potentially, and then also looking at where to put the existing FBO, the old FBO, in relationship to the space down inside of the fencing. That's it, I'll say.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you, Mark. And a report from the city. Russ, what do you got to share with us?
All right, the terminal is moving right along. If you haven't been up there, they're starting to put the glass in this week, and they should be done by the end of the week with all the glass. And roof is on. So they're moving right along. 11 April is still the scheduled completion date. Had a couple meetings. We were able to solve the internet issue like we discussed. We're able to solve a security system, which will be, cameras to start off with, and then we'll go from there, possibly an ADT system in the future, but we'll definitely have cameras. Also have, you'll have key fobs for entry and codes and stuff that's easily changed. So I have a little more security inside a terminal, and we're probably going to expand that to the gate once we get everything set. So instead of punching in a code, most everybody who's had contact with Mark will get a fob or a card, and they'll just put it up to the gate and drive on through. The construction budget is miserable as always. I think the first week we were over budget. We're currently 11,000 over budget. We kind of expected some of those with the security stuff. City will absorb some of those things, but we're working toward it. And every day we're going to get some monies back from certain things like the electrical and some of the routing of the cables and stuff like that. We'll get some money returned on our investment there, get some money back. So we won't end up as bad as I thought we would be. So it's going well. So right now it's about 10, 11 grand over. Paul and I have been working for the next thing, the hangar lease contract. Paul and I have been talking about just looking at numbers and things like that. And if you have anything else for Talbot Bright and Ellington, Paul.
Hey, Russ, Mark DeFields here.
Yep.
I wanted to let you know with regards to the overages and things of that nature. I was speaking to the executive director, James, today, Stevens and Gary, and discussed some of the challenges that we're having specifically with the security system and some of the things with the AWAS and just even with the building that we might be able to get some fundings with to help with the internet and the security system, particularly because, there's an issue going on with the state. If we do the right paperwork, maybe you and I can get together and put a grant proposal together, and we show, which he said easily, we could show the support of the need of this. We might be able to get some funding to help that if possible.
Okay. Because we're anything we can get will help, because the biggest cost was the security system, and that's not even put in yet. That was just the cabling for it, and the cameras are going to be 5, 6, I think it's $7 grand for the camera system, and the locks and everything else is another $6 grand. So when these things start rolling in, we'll start going over pretty quickly.
Okay.
We'll discuss that. I'll discuss that with Shannon, and we'll try to get with them and see what we can do. If they have extra monies left over, I'll be glad to take it from them.
Okay. They sounded like they did. And they're very excited about what they see and what they want to spend.
Sweet. Sorry, Paul, do you have anything to add?
Well, basically, like you alluded to, you and I have discussed, I've got a master spreadsheet of all the surrounding airports around Hartsfield to share with the commission at the appropriate time. And of course, we have multiple ground leases that can be analyzed and reviewed by the commission. And so we're ready to discuss it in more detail whenever you are, Russell, like we said.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions about the construction of the terminal?
It's good.
And again,
it's 11,000. 11,000 over at this point. Sounds great.
Sweet. All right, thank you.
Okay, as far as private fundraising, we're gonna have to meet together at some point. Lex, James, myself, and whoever else wants to be involved in that. So we'll just deal with that when the appropriate time. The hangar ground lease
Hey, Lee.
contract, I mailed it. Yes.
Lee, this is James.
Yeah.
Russell, you were talking about working on that presentation. You still working on that?
Yes, I actually have, we're working on a pamphlet right now as we speak, basically some promotional materials as a suggestion that Mark made. It's something we're going to make. It'll be able to promote the airport from, now to get fundraising and also in the future for anybody that comes through. So we're working on a trifold like pamphlet to use, and we can expand that if necessary. Yes, we are.
Guys, I want to tell you, I feel bad. I have not seen the terminal building in weeks and weeks. I've been out of town a lot, so I won't go by and take a look at it. I'm wondering, I know you've had a lot of conversation, but this pamphlet that you're talking about, I'm assuming we got some good images or some good drone shots of kind of the progress that we can use to show people where we are and where we're going with it.
Yes, we get the Middleton Group is sending us pictures every time they come up and do it monthly. We've also taken some pictures throughout the construction phase, and Mashburn is also doing some pictures. So we do have a lot of pictures.
Good.
Okay. Going to the hangar ground lease. I emailed everybody a copy of draft number 5, which is the draft I think that we should be looking at. Originally started off with, I think 2 cents per square foot. Draft 5 is 3 cents per square foot. That was about the only change. My thoughts are that the item number that concerns the rental or lease fee needs to be worded in a way that's more clear, so that there's no misunderstanding about what anybody is leasing with this contract won't have any question about what it all means. That was my main concern about it. Now, with as far as how this contract would affect or influence somebody to build a hangar, Mark, have you had a chance to look at it and decide if it would be to your liking?
Not in its entirety, not enough, to be quite honest, to comment on it. I mean, there are things like item number 3, and then item on the last page, the workers' compensation, not really sure. I've got to go through this a little bit more in depth to make sure that I digest every piece of it. Right this second, not well enough to comment on it.
Okay. Again, I think this is something that will be better managed if we are face to face, if we get to the point where we can do that again. Or at least a small group of us meeting to hammer that out. So anyway, we'll get to that as time will allow. We still got, well, the current lease is up in a year from April, mid-April. So we've got plenty of time to work on it. But that's all I've got as far as the agenda. Anybody have anything they needed to add? Hearing none. Russ, back to you.
Russ, you're on mute.
You are correct. So as we get closer to the hangar ground lease contract, what I would propose is to have the committee come to a kind of a recommendation, and then take it to we could take it to Daniel, or we can have our smaller committees. Committees can't be, I mean, we can have smaller groups. The groups can't be over 2 people, two people in size, or we start violating some rules. But we can definitely get together and discuss that in person, and we can go from there. Other than that, I don't have
sounds
anything else.
good. Sounds good. Well, that is that's everything in the agenda. If we don't have anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Sounds good. Good to see everybody.
All right. Well, thanks so much for everybody joining in. This worked out better than I thought it would. So hope to see everybody face to face soon.
Have a good one, all.
Y'all take care.
You got snow up there?